Your Hyundai may be damaging itself every single day. And the worst part is, it's doing it with factory settings. This is no longer about bad driving, bad fuel, or even bad luck. This is about the settings most owners never touch. I'm talking about things hidden in menus, driving modes, maintenance intervals, and automatic systems that seem harmless. But over 20,000, 40,000, 60,000 miles, they can mean carbon buildup, oil dilution, timing wear, overheating, and repair bills from $800 to $6,000. You see, Hyundai builds solid engines, no doubt. But many modern features are designed for fuel economy, emissions targets, comfort, or convenience, not maximum engine life. So if you want your Hyundai to reach 250,000 plus miles, there are some settings smart owners adjust pretty early on. Today, I'll show you 7 of these Hyundai default settings you need to change immediately if you want your engine to last. These go beyond mere safety features or maintenance. Well, let's start with the one nearly everyone ignores. Default setting. Number 1. The normal mode. Lugging problem. Get this. Your Hyundai's default drive mode is typically normal. Now, for most of you, that means the transmission computer is programmed for one thing above all else: fuel economy. To hit the EPA sticker number, the software forces the transmission to upshift as fast as humanly possible. You know the feeling. We all do. You're cruising at 35 miles per hour, and the tachometer is sitting at 1,100 revolutions per minute. The car feels buzzy, lazy. Why does this matter though? Let me explain. That's called low-speed pre-ignition, or LSPI, in GDI and turbo engines. That's the 1.6T, 2.0T, and 2.5T high gear and low RPM under load is a recipe for disaster. You're essentially asking the engine to climb stairs while breathing through a straw. The computer pulls timing to stop knock, but that creates heat. Over 60,000 miles of this normal mode driving, you're baking oil onto the piston rings. In no time, you'll be staring down an engine replacement bill of like $6,000. Yeah, it's that easy to kill your engine. And this isn't theoretical in the slightest. I've replaced a good number of Hyundai engines because of this exact reason. The knock sensor picks up micro detonations you can't hear. Eventually, the computer gets tired of pulling timing, and you get a P1326 code, the infamous engine knock sensor detection system warning. And once that light comes on, good luck getting a dealer to clear it without a bearing clearance test. That's another $400 out of your savings. Here's what you have to do right now. For starters, if you have a non-turbo engine, you're A-OK. But if you have a turbo model, you have to change this default behavior. You don't need to drive around in sport mode all day. Instead, use Smart Mode. Smart Mode learns your throttle input. If you're just cruising on the highway, it will save gas. But when you step on it to merge, it drops a gear instantly. More importantly, in stop-and-go city traffic, Smart Mode holds gears slightly longer than normal. This keeps the engine spinning above that 1,500 RPM danger zone, where LSPI lurks. It costs $0. It takes one thumb press after you start the car. Make it muscle memory. It will save your engine. Now, what I've got next is a setting, or more of a convenience feature, that saves your leg. And don't get me wrong, it does. But on the dual clutch transmission models, the way you use it is either saving you $3,000 or costing you $3,000. I'm showing you the exact difference in just a moment. Default setting number 2, the idle stop and go, ISG system. Many modern Hyundai owners know this feature. And if you don't, know this. You use it every single time you pull out your driveway. It basically shuts the engine off at a red light and restarts when you lift off the brake. It's a default setting on almost every new Tucson, Santa Fe, and Sonata. It sounds like a great idea, right? On paper at least. It's capable of saving like 3 to 4% fuel. The reality, though, is it's a wear item multiplier. Every time that engine shuts off, oil pressure drops to 0. The turbocharger, if you have one, is still spinning at tens of thousands of revolutions per minute with 0 oil flow for a split second. That's called oil starvation. Now multiply that by 15 stoplights a day, 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year. That's nearly 4,000 extra dry starts on your turbo bearings annually. And when the engine restarts, the starter motor engages. Hyundai starters are robust, but the AGM battery required to run this system is not cheap. We're talking $280 to $350 for a replacement when the constant cycling deep cycles it to death at 40,000 miles. You see, engines wear most when they are cold, but the second most wear, the exact moment oil pressure climbs from 0 to 40 psi. By disabling ISG, you're extending the life of your timing chain tensioner and your turbo feed lines. Plain and simple. As great as this feature can be for your legs and the environment, it's got to go off if you want your Hyundai to make it to 200,000 miles. So, the minute you buckle your seatbelt, press the ISG off button on the center stack. Yes, you have to press it every single time you start the car. Unfortunately, there is no permanent disable from the factory without aftermarket wiring. But trust me, the 0.2 seconds it takes to press that button is cheaper than the $2,800 turbo replacement bill. I might not be some mathematics major, but it pretty much adds up from where I'm standing. Now, next up is a setting that makes your oil wear out faster than any other feature or component in your Hyundai. This setting might just change your entire driving habit. Default setting. Number 3. Drive mode in sport, all the time. Many Hyundai models offer a number of driving modes: Eco, Normal, Sport, and Smart. This isn't the problem. The problem is the Hyundai owners who always have a need for speed, so they always leave their cars in Sport mode. Yeah, I get it. Sport mode sharpens throttle response, changes transmission behavior, and holds gears longer, which feels quite great. For about 3 minutes, you see, Sport mode often keeps RPM higher, delays upshifts, and increases throttle sensitivity. Do you know what this means? Obviously not. This means more heat, more fuel burned, more engine load, more transmission stress in city traffic. Put all of these together, and your engine is unfortunately bearing the brunt of it all. Use Sport mode occasionally? Fine. Great. Use it every day for everything from grocery runs to school traffic? Not ideal at all. Long-term constant high RPM driving can accelerate wear on a number of components in your Hyundai engine. I'm talking engine mounts, transmission fluid, ignition components, and cooling system components. And the icing on top this already messed up cake? You also burn more fuel than necessary. Engine mount replacement can cost $300 to $900. Transmission service issues get uglier fast. You're sacrificing a whole lot just to go fast. Is it really worth it? Now you have to reach some sort of a compromise. Use Normal for daily driving, Smart if your Hyundai has it, and Sport only when merging, hills, or spirited driving. Only then. Sport mode should be a tool, not your lifestyle. As messed up as Sport mode might be, it's still not Hyundai's worst driving mode. Not when there's the biggest offender of carbon buildup ever. I'm talking about default setting number 4, Eco mode for every trip. What does Eco mode even do? Well, it changes throttle mapping and often encourages lower RPM operation to save fuel. So yeah, economic mode. Again, great feature, but overused constantly, especially for short city trips, can create a different issue that's going to cost you way more than all that gas you've been saving up on. You see, engines need occasional heat, airflow, and load to stay cleaner internally. If the car is constantly lugging at very low RPM, never seeing moderate load, never being driven beyond soft throttle, it can contribute to deposits over time, especially on GDI engines. I've had so many customers who swear by Eco mode come into the shop complaining of hesitation, sluggish acceleration, roughness, carbon deposits, and reduced responsiveness. In fact, they come in complaining that their Hyundai is aging badly. And I have to have this same conversation with them. Your Hyundai isn't aging badly, it's lived way too softly. There's a time for every single drive mode in your Hyundai. You only get to use Eco on long highway cruises. For normal driving, use Normal or Smart. And once the engine is fully warm, occasionally allow moderate acceleration through the rev range. Don't go racing. Just some healthy movement is all. In the end, regardless of how much you bought your Hyundai, cars are machines. and machines like being used properly. Now let's get into a hidden maintenance setting that catches owners years too late. Default setting number 5. The 32 psi comfort pressure. If you didn't know, Hyundai ships the cars with a recommended tire pressure of 32 or 33 psi for a smooth, quiet ride. That's the default for the suspension to feel like you're floating on a cloud. I'll tell you why this matters in a moment. You see, that pressure is chosen for NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, not for tire longevity or fuel economy. When you run a heavy SUV like a Palisade or Santa Fe on 33 psi, the tire sidewall flexes more. This generates heat, and like with any other component in your Hyundai, heat is the #1 enemy of tire belts. That flex also causes the outer edges of the tread to wear faster than the center. The average set of tires for a Tucson is around $850 installed. Running them at 33 psi instead of 38 ps, I will scrub about 5,000 to 7,000 miles off the tread life. That's like throwing away one free rotation cycle. You're also losing about 1 to 2 miles per gallon due to increased rolling resistance. Here's what you need to do right now. Open your fuel door or driver's door jamb. Look for the recommended tire pressure number. It's often there somewhere. Now add 3 to 4 psi. If it says 33, run 36 to 37 psi cold, meaning first thing in the morning. Do not exceed the maximum pressure stamped on the tire sidewall, usually 51 pounds per square inch. You will notice a slightly firmer ride over potholes, but you'll also notice the steering feels sharper. The highway MPG climbs by 5%, and your tires will wear evenly across the tread face. This is a 5-minute adjustment with a gas station air pump that saves you hundreds in premature tire replacement. And now for the setting many owners never think about until overheating starts. Default setting number 6. Climate control on max heat. With low coolant. This one sounds odd, but stay with me. Some owners run climate systems aggressively year-round while ignoring coolant level checks and coolant service intervals. You have to understand that the HVAC system itself isn't the villain. Neglected cooling systems are. Did you know that your Hyundai's engine cooling system and cabin heating system are connected through the heater core? This means that if coolant is low, old, contaminated, or weak, engine temperatures become less stable. Heat cycles accelerate wear. Ignoring cooling systems can kill your engine like that. Ignored cooling systems can lead to water pump failure, thermostat failure, overheating, head gasket damage, and heater performance issues. If you still don't understand what you're up against, this should help out. Head gasket repairs can range $1,500 to over $4,000. A single overheating event can age an engine years in one afternoon. That's what you're actually up against. This isn't a warning for you to not use your car's climate control altogether. No, all I'm asking you to do is check the coolant level monthly when cold. And when necessary, replace coolant based on Hyundai's schedule or sooner if condition is poor. If cabin heat suddenly weakens, temperature fluctuates, or coolant drops repeatedly, inspect immediately. That's all you need to do. Small cooling issues become expensive engine issues fast. Real fast. Do this, and you should be good. Lastly is a real setting buried in the vehicle's behavior profile. And it's one of the primary reasons DCTs developed that infamous low-speed shutter. Do you know about default setting number 7, the Eco Mode Coasting default setting? If you have a Hyundai with a DCT, dual clutch transmission, like the Tucson 1.6T, Kona 1.6T, or Venue, and you drive in Eco Mode, there's a default setting you probably don't even know exists. It's called Coasting Neutral Control. When you lift your foot off the accelerator while coasting downhill or coming to a stop, the transmission computer silently decouples the clutch entirely. The engine RPM drops to idle, and the car effectively rolls in neutral. The moment you touch the gas again, the clutch slams back in to match engine speed to wheel speed. Hyundai programmed this to squeeze an extra 1 mile per gallon out of the EPA test cycle. That's it. In the real world, however, this setting is a wear item multiplier. A DCT clutch pack has a finite number of engagement cycles. Every time you coast for 3 seconds and then tap the gas, you're using up one full clutch engagement. In stop-and-go traffic, this can happen 40 to 50 times on a single commute. That's thousands of unnecessary dry engagements. The transmission control unit is constantly playing catch-up, which causes the low-speed jerkiness and shudder that DCT owners complain about. The DCT actuator motor and clutch pack replacement cost is between $2,700 and $3,400. The majority of these failures aren't from hard launches at the drag strip. They're from the accumulated wear of the clutch constantly slipping to re-engage after these coasting events in traffic. You're trading a tiny bit of gas savings for a massive transmission repair bill down the line. You have 2 options. Option 1. Turn off Eco mode, like I advised earlier. Drive in Smart mode or Normal mode. In these modes, the coasting neutral control is disabled, and the clutch stays engaged, providing engine braking and immediate throttle response. Option 2. If you absolutely must use Eco mode for the soft throttle mapping, you can sometimes disable the coasting feature by lightly resting your foot on the brake pedal while coasting. The computer interprets brake switch activation as a signal to keep the clutch engaged for safety. But honestly, just press the drive mode button and get out of Eco. It's the one setting change that can add 40,000 miles of life to your DCT clutch pack. The bottom line is none of this feels dramatic in any way. That's what makes them really dangerous. Engines rarely die from one giant mistake. They die from small daily habits repeated thousands of times. Make these changes now, and your Hyundai has a far better chance of hitting 200,000 miles without becoming a financial thriller. It's not about which factory it rolled out of, it's about which defaults you override. The 3% of drivers who change these 7 settings are the ones who post in the forums about how their car is bulletproof. The other 97% are the ones wondering why their DCT is shuddering, why their tires are bald at 25,000 miles, or why their engine is drinking a quart of oil every fuel stop. You don't need a lift or a scan tool for most of this. All you need is the knowledge of what they do and why they have to go off, and you've gotten just that. Use it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.